Hello, I'm Jim,
I'm Karen.
and we do slow travel across the globe. Just to let you know what this video is about, it's about basically post-op and a little bit of preparation before we went for Karen's hip surgery. We covered in the first video the initial costs. This is going to update the costs, what was extra, how much those extras were when Karen was finally out of her surgery. From this point on, Karen's going to do most of the talking. I may interject a little bit, but she knows what happened to her, so I think it's best to let
I don't
her discuss
remember
it.
a thing.
Yeah, that's true. She was out cold during the thing, but I'll add during the surgery what I went through. And go ahead.
Today is January the 11th. It's Sunday. I've been out of the hospital now for 2 days.
You started on when? You did it on Wednesday.
We went to the
Thursday,
hospital
Friday,
on
Saturday,
Wednesday
Sunday. 4
on the
days.
6th.
Right.
We checked in around 10:30. My room was ready. I met the doctors that day. The joint navigator, which is the person that's in charge of my overall surgery, and met the anesthesiologist and the physical therapist, everybody. And they went over exactly what was going to be happening, and the doctor came in and saw me and went over some of the risks, and that's what we did.
Yep,
on the 6th.
I want to back her up for a minute and see if she'll just talk about this for just a couple of seconds. Prior to us ever being admitted into a hospital, there was a person called the joint navigator whose name was
Carrie.
Carrie was in charge of almost like a liaison between the hospital, the doctor, and Karen and I. Carrie called and spoke to Karen. I'm going to let Karen tell you what all that was all about.
She spoke to me and told me on WhatsApp. She calls me on WhatsApp. Plus, she sends me information over on WhatsApp of what time I needed to go in and what to expect and who I was going and what was going to happen to me. Just the overall kind of from the front to the back.
She also covered any questions we had, which was helpful too. It was the second time we had questions answered from somebody. The first time was the doctor, the second time was her. And then from there we got called by, I think, the nurse of the doctor to schedule the appointment.
Yes.
And then Karen went in for the surgery.
Yes.
The surgery was scheduled at 2. In all honesty, it was
probably about 3:30. I finally got into the OR.
Oh, I don't know about that. I know she left her room at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And we were told basically that the surgery would take about an hour and a half, and she would be in recovery roughly an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it didn't go as planned.
Well,
Karen has thick bones.
I have big bones.
She has
finally
big bones.
Can say I'm not fat. I just have big bones. I knew it.
She's got huge bones. As a result, the operation was longer than it expected. It went from my perspective, from 3 o'clock when she left the room. She didn't finally get back to the room until 8 o'clock.
The doctor did come in and talk to you.
The doctor came in after the operation, thank God, because I was climbing the walls, wondering what was going on. I kept asking the nurses, she's still in surgery, Well, he came in and he saw me down the aisle and he looked and he says, Jimmy, your wife's operation was a success, and settled me down. That was about 6:30. 8 o'clock, she finally got back to the room. Apparently, Karen gets really punch drunk during.
I don't like to wake up.
She doesn't wake up.
I like to.
So it took a while for her to get up. From there, Karen's going to talk about what happened.
I really don't
afterwards.
remember anything coming back into the room. I remember telling Jimmy to go on home because I think he was hysterical.
Well, and I had the nurses telling me to get out too, that she has to rest and she's a little groggy. So all in all, I waited for 5 hours to be chased out of the room anyway, but that was fine. I just wanted to see she was okay.
And I just slept. I don't remember anything until the morning, and that was the 8th. I woke up, they were giving me liquid antibiotics, my pain medication, different drugs, I guess, blood thinners and different things like that. They had put the sleeves on my legs to make sure that the circulation was going. I got visited from PT first thing in the morning. That morning got me out of bed. I had to go to the restroom. I am not good at peeing in a diaper or adult brief. So I really wanted to get up. They allowed me to get up. I went to the bathroom. I urinated. Everything was fine. I went back to bed. Had lunch. They feed you so much there. You get 4 meals a day. You get 3 regular meals, and then plus you get afternoon tea, which was like an egg salad sandwich and some tea. And then I saw PT also again that afternoon, got me up, also went to the restroom, walked around the room a little bit, walked out in the hall, came back. The 9th would have been on the Friday that I was going to be released. And so PT came in that morning. They bring me an apparatus that I don't know if you can see here, but it's a sensor that I put on my leg, and they load on a application different kinds of exercises I'm supposed to do, and they monitor from there. I will also see physical therapy twice a week
Twice a week.
for the first 3 or 4 weeks, depending on my progress. That's amazing.
This little device hooks up to her phone, and it tells her what exercises to do. When she goes in for her physical therapy, they will possibly, depending on her progress, change the exercises according to her progress. So this little gizmo is really important. It's like a remote physical therapist.
It really is.
In addition to the regular physical therapist that'll probably be doing some stuff with her also to check range of motion and such. After 3 days, she is now walking around the apartment.
Yep.
To some extent. It's not comfortable. She learned a valuable lesson, because Karen, if you don't know, and I'm going to spill the beans on this, does not like to take painkillers. Well, she found out the hard way yesterday that not taking painkillers the day after you're released is not necessarily a good idea.
I was trying to wean myself off of them, but I just realized I was in too much pain, and it was inhibiting me doing some of the exercises that I needed to do. So this morning, today, I promised my husband that I would follow the schedule of my medications to the T.
And she is doing that.
And it's doing well.
So the Flintstones chewables with morphine are really helping her now.
It's codeine.
Codeine. That's right, codeine, not morphine. In any case, we checked out. At the time of checkout, of course, we still had somewhat of a bill to pay.
It was Friday on the 9th. We were checking out after lunchtime. I had seen the physical therapist already. She had set up my appointments. I had seen the doctor. He came in twice a day to see me, which was absolutely wonderful, and set up the appointment. And Carrie came in to see me to set up the appointment and my follow-up with the doctor, and which I'll see him in 2 weeks. And told me the things to look for and just to keep an eye on. I feel like I'm doing pretty good in my recovery. Of course, it's never fast enough. I'm uncomfortable, to say the least, but it's to be expected. But here again, as I've explained to anybody that would sit and listen, is I've been uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable walking. I've been in discomfort, anywhere from discomfort to pain, depending on how much I walk. And if I can see this operation is going to give me relief from that at the end of the road, then
it's worth the trouble.
Then it's worth the trouble. I'm just trying to keep my eye on the ball.
Okay, upon checkout, this is something a lot of people are curious about. I'm going to urge you again, watch the first video for the other costs, because I don't want to have to repeat everything. Okay, so when we got ready to leave the hospital, of course, when we checked in, we paid most of the money anyway. To check out of the hospital, we owed some money also.
Yes.
And what we ended up paying was 4,100 ringgits, which works out to 1,007 American dollars for the final payment to the hospital, or up till this point, the payment. And we also were told by the hospital earlier that she would need a walker, which she has, and a cane. The girl on the phone at the hospital told us, well, you can buy it from us. The walker will be about $168, but you can probably get a better price at a drugstore. So we went to a drugstore.
168
ringgits, which works out to $41.26 at the time. So we went to a pharmacy to check price. When it was all said and done, it cost 168 ringgits again for the walker, but we also got the cane.
Yeah.
So the total price to date of the extras now works out to $1,048.26. That's not a whole bunch of money. If you watch the first video, you'll see what we paid up front. Personally, I think it's going to greatly or vastly improve Karen's comfort, and it'll help us in our further travels. We have some really cool things planned for the future.
I'd just like to say a personal note at the close. Thank you for everybody that has sent their sentiments and their best wishes and their prayers for me during this. I am overwhelmed by the amount of people that have reached out and seem to really care, which I had no idea of why. But of my progress during this. This is why we're doing this. We're not doing this for likes or for followings or for subscriptions. I think it was important for people to know. I was very frightened of a hip replacement. I'm 66 years old. I would have probably rather been hit by a truck than go on an operation. I'm not a very good patient, which he can attest to.
She's wonderful. She has been a pleasure to deal with since this. But in any case, I'd like to make a quick statement also. Karen refers to people reaching out to her. They reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is also called Slow Travel Across the Globe by Travel Snippets. Thank you for all the kind words.
Thank you.
We'll have another follow-up in a few weeks to let you see how Karen's walking.
Yeah, we'll do a quick follow-up on after I see the doctor and where I'm at in a couple of weeks, and let you know the progress of this and try to give you as much of an honest assessment of what's going on.
Have a good day. Thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, and thank you again for all your wonderful attention.